What's up, y'all? So what are we doing today on the channel? We're gonna be canning mulberries. For those of you that don't know, a mulberry is a very common berry tree that grows all throughout the South. It produces a lot of berries during summer. That's why it's important to can them, because they only put out so many berries over a certain amount of time. All right, here's a few of the things you're gonna need. Sugar, lime or lemon juice, your cans, a couple of pots, one for boiling, one for cooking the mulberries, something called pectin, which can be either liquefied or powdered. I'm using the powdered for this recipe, so make sure you can change your ratios if you use liquid. So this is what your powdered pectin looks like. This is what your liquefied pectin looks like. They are not the same equivalent, so you can still jar with both of them, but make sure you get your quantities right. They kind of have different quantity ratios with whatever you're canning. And then of course, your mulberries. Let me show you those. All right, so I just pulled these mulberries out of the freezer. Of course, most of y'all will be picking them from some tree that you have access to or on your land. First thing you want to do is put them on a baking sheet and put them in the freezer. Why is this? Because they have these little stems right here. And the best way to get those off is getting them brittle. I put them in the freezer and then roll them around. This technique isn't mandatory necessarily, but it's a good idea to get those stems off, or at least some of them. Okay, before we begin the first step, I'm gonna go over the ratios you're gonna need to do this. First, for every 2 cups of mulberries, you're gonna need 1 cup of sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of pectin powdered, and then 1 teaspoon of lemon juice or lime juice. All right, our first step is getting all of these jars cleaned up with soap and water, hot soap and water. You want them as clean as possible, the seals, everything on them. These are brand new and I'm still cleaning them. And then we're putting them into our boiling water. All right, so we just finished cleaning all these jars and lids and little caps on them, and now we're waiting for our water to finish boiling. And we're gonna stick them in there. Stick these suckers in there. Boiling up in there. All right, now we're gonna measure out these berries real quick. 1, 2, so about 6 cups in here. All right, so we're gonna do 3 cups of sugar. So it's 1.5 tablespoons of powdered pectin. So that means we're gonna be doing about 4.5 tablespoons of powdered pectin for 6 cups of berries. So now we're gonna do 3 teaspoons of lime. I'm just gonna use this lime. I'm not gonna use that lemon over there because I wanna make it easier on myself. All right, all of our ingredients are in here, so we're just gonna be stirring this up real good, and our heat's on medium. So here's the next key thing. You wanna keep this stirring. You don't want anything to burn up or on the bottom. Just keep stirring, don't stop. And here pretty soon, you're gonna want a mashed potato masher to mash this up pretty good when it starts to liquefy, or a blender. I'll probably just put it in a blender for about 3 seconds. Not too long though, you don't wanna mash up too much. You don't want a full-on liquid, you just want chunkiness. Don't forget to keep an eye on the boiling cans. We're gonna be needing them in a second. As you can see, our berries are looking real good. All of our ingredients are in there. It's liquefying real well. But we're still probably gonna have to put it in the blender for a bit. All right, now it's in the blender. And you don't want to do this too much. Just give it a quick little not much, that's all you really want to do. Alright, so the plan is now, we're kind of got a boiling going right there. Just keep the boiling going. You want to do this and keep stirring. And if you can't keep that boiling down by stirring it, wait about 1-2 minutes and then turn off the heat and we'll fill our jars. So we're about ready right now. All right. All right, so let's fill this sucker up. There you go, our first can. You just tighten that lid on, make sure you got something to hold it, 'cause it's kind of hot. Just set it there. So what you want to do is you want to get the rim where this contact of the seal is going to be. Just kind of run some paper towel over it real quick. There we go. About 6 jars of mulberry jam. They're pretty hot right now, so we're just going to let them sit. What you're gonna want to see is this top little seal eventually pop in whenever it gets cools down. Some people like to put them back in the boiling water, but if you do them good enough and you stick to your plan, they should all pop down. If any of them don't pop down in the next few hours, you may as well just start eating it then. But when they do pop down, they're preserved and they're ready to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to can mulberries. Jam's gonna be good.